They were saying that a submissive woman controls her man, and I agree with that. I think until we begin to talk in honesty and transparency and stop pandering to both sides, especially to the sisters, because there is so much entitlement, and because men have been quiet for so long, and it's been the men that has been quiet were the type of men that y'all really need to be listening to. The men that doing the most talking ain't the ones, they don't have nothing to say anyway.
What's good? It's your boy Quay Price, man, holding it down for Kandid Konvos. Definitely check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. People today, they lazy. Ain't nobody trying to put in no work. If stuff start getting a little rough in the relationship or in the marriage, ain't nobody trying to fix nothing. Like, I mean, that's how people's mindsets are today. Yeah, but that's how I know that folks don't truly understand what marriage was about, because they tap out way too easy. Yeah, you see people fight harder for a job, like they can't go get another one of them in 2 weeks. Yeah, she's talking about these guys coming to these foreign countries and sourcing out these foreign women because they possess these character traits. Yep, they're more cooperative when it comes to a man, or they're more cooperative when it comes to a marriage and a relationship. They're more, nurturing forward when it comes to a relationship. They're more I don't even want to use the word soft, but I'll use the word soft. They're softer when it comes to, these relationships and interactions with men and so forth. And like I said, we definitely got to be honest. We see a difference, right? We see a difference. And I think, Chloe and Tay made some good points earlier. A lot of this stuff is based around money over here in the West. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Coco on deck. Say what's up to the people, Coco. You on mute.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Oh, you done switched it up. Ain't no more Happy Wednesday. You done switched it up.
You never know when this show gonna air. We got so many. Speaking of which, I'm gonna take a moment to just jump in there. So, we have been working behind the scenes, guys, to start getting some of our classic episodes, edited for podcasts, listening on Spotify. So you can now find Kandid Konvos on Spotify, guys. We've just begun to add some of our classic episodes and place them up there. You will be able to both listen to audio recordings of our podcast, and you will be able to watch previous episodes, video format, of some of our classic episodes. So, go check us out. We'll try to link it on the YouTube page, on the Facebook page as well after the show, so you guys will have the link. But you can definitely just go to Spotify if you have Spotify, guys. It is free. Spotify is free to download and free to use. It is ad supported, but you can listen to our shows now in the car on the way to work, when you're sitting in traffic. You can catch up on the episodes. So yeah, go check us out on Spotify under Kandid Konvos, the podcast.
All right, cool. Appreciate that public service announcement as well. Also, let's say, since we are at it right here, definitely go check out the Kandid Reactions page on YouTube. Let's say we got some classics we drop over there as well. So definitely go check that out. Kandid Reactions on YouTube. Yeah, no, we building. We growing the platform. We trying, let's say, reach as many people as possible. Let's say, so shout out to y'all for continuing to support the, platform and what we got going on. We appreciate you guys holding us down as always. But once again, that's Kandid Reactions on YouTube. So yeah, you'll be seeing us on all the social media platforms eventually. We getting there. But shout out to y'all once again. All right, let me see who's checking in. We see JR just hopped on. Let me see who's checked in early before we get into some of the conversation. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Hersh. He said getting on shortly. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We're going to be here waiting on you. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Vince. He said, hey, fam, what's going on, Vince? Appreciate you checking in with us tonight, brother. Appreciate you as always holding us down. Let's say Vince is one of our loyals, holding down the panel with us every Wednesday night. So shout out to Vince and the family over there. Shout out to Nicole, IT in the building. Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, Nicole. Appreciate you. See Donovan in the building. He said hello. Hey, hello. What up, though, man? I got to get my words right here. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, man. All right. See, I think that is that. So let me circle on back. All right, here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming through an Apple device, you got to use Safari. But yeah, join us on the panel. Let's say get in on this great conversation. In addition to the video feed here, we also have this in all the chat feeds. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook, or you can shoot us a message. We'll get it to you that way as well. We'll leave this link up here a little bit as we get into the conversation. Let's see, Kenyatta in the building. She said, happy Wednesday. What's going on, Kenyatta? We appreciate you joining us tonight as well, always holding us down. All right, so I'll leave this link up here for a little bit as we get into the conversation. So, got another one tonight. So let me see. All right, so topic for tonight. Black culture is trash. Man, let me run that back. Topic for tonight. Black culture is trash. All right. So we're going to go and get on into this conversation. We ain't going to hold it up tonight. Yeah, I did that. Don't worry about it. I did that. All right, let me drop this link down for a minute. Anybody that needs the link, let us know. We'll get it to you. But I said it's in all the chat feeds as well. All right, so we got a couple videos that came over. Let's see. Shout out to Eva Wright in the building. She said, hey, what's going on, Eva Wright? Appreciate you joining us tonight. My guy Vince said, absolutely. Yeah, no, we appreciate you holding us down, man. Let's see. You're part of the family over here, man. So we appreciate you as always. All right, so we're going to go and get on into this. I said we had a couple videos that came over. So, yeah, we're going to get right on into it. Black culture is trash. Man, folks checking in early. Blue Exodus in the building. What's going on, Blue Exodus? We ain't heard from you in a little bit, man. Appreciate you hopping on with us tonight.
Good to see you again, friend.
Yeah. Shout out to Blue Exodus in the building. Hold down YouTube. Let's see. Andre Cable, definitely trash, needs families. Yeah, no, that is a fact. Now, we agree with that. Appreciate you joining us tonight as well, Andre. Andre said nice frames. All right, appreciate that. Let's see, I think that's Beatboxer. You got that one?
You got him?
Yeah, go ahead. You can get it.
Okay.
This back laid out. All right, so we got Beatboxer on deck. We got JR on deck. Folks in the comments. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and kick this off. We get on into this. This first one is a little bit. I might try to cut it short, but we'll see how it go.
Hi, Kendra.
Hi, baby. What's your name?
My name is Bella.
Bella. Where are you calling me from?
I am calling from Dallas, Texas.
Dallas. How old are you?
I am 46 years old.
46. What you do for a living?
I am an actress.
Actress. Okay.
Yes.
Bella, Dallas, Texas, 46 actress. You have any kids?
I have 4 boys.
How old are your 4 boys?
17, 8, 7, and 5.
17, 8, 7, and 5?
Yes.
How about the same man?
Yes. I was married. He passed away in 2020.
Oh, that's so sad. Oh, so you're a widow. I apologize. That's terrible. All right, so we got Bella, Dallas, Texas, 46 actress. Mom of 4 boys, is a widower. Is a widow. What kind of man you looking for, honey?
I'm actually just looking for somebody that's down to earth, that's cool. I really don't have I'm not big on, specifics, so.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
He can't have a small. That's about it. That's pretty much about it.
So he has to be packing.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Has to be packing. Has to be packing. Okay. Has to be packing. All right. Should he look a certain way?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, that's okay.
No.
Should he make a certain amount of money?
At least 80K a year.
Okay, at least 80K. So if he made less than 80K, should he not reach out?
I'm sorry?
If he made less than 80K, should he not reach out?
Oh, he can definitely reach out. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay, so it's just a preference, a minimum. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, my charger. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay. Let's see. The cam.
Third time. What's my? Okay. I'm about to do it because they're telling me to look at your page. What am I gonna see if I go to your page?
I'm the long tongue goddess.
Okay. What is the long tongue goddess? I'm scared. Everyone's like, go to her page. Go to her page. Okay, so let me go to your page.
Yes.
And I'll see what they want me to see.
It's pretty wild. I'm not going to lie.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Okay, let's see. Oh, so you have a long tongue.
Yes, definitely.
But
I don't want to scare anyone away. I think the deal breaker, that's why I can't have anybody. Yeah, no, it won't work, Kendra. It won't work.
it won't work because of the things that you want to do to him?
Possibly, yes. I mean, like, for me, that's like a turn on for me. That's what I enjoy. I'm not going to lie, but it doesn't mean that I'm doing that with everyone. But that's just what I like to do. Everybody has their turn ons and turn offs, and that's my turn on. So, guess what, Kendra? I have an identical twin sister as well. She's looking for love too, and we have the same thing.
Is she with you right now?
No, she's not. No.
What? Is something coming out of your tongue?
Me. That's spit. That's just spit. It's not a big deal. It's just spit,
Okay, let me stop. I need it. Okay.
Woosah. I know. It's a bit much. I know.
How long have you been dating for?
For about 3 years now.
When did your husband pass again?
In 2020. Yes.
Okay. Let me get refocused. Okay. Your last relationship, was it your husband?
No, no, it was a bad relationship, so I haven't really dated since then.
Okay, so they're telling me to ask you this because you said you are an actress.
Yes.
Did you mean you're an actress on OnlyFans?
Not exactly, sort of, kind of, but I've been in some movies that's on Tubi.
Are you on OnlyFans?
Yes.
Is that how you pay your bills?
Well, on OnlyFans, if anyone was to go on there, it's not with me, and it's just on there by myself. Just doing tricks with my tongue, that's it.
Is that a good source of income for you?
Oh, definitely.
Do you make more doing that than your acting career?
Yes.
So why when I said what do you do, why didn't you say OnlyFans instead of actress?
I don't know. I think OnlyFans is acting as well because I do everything in the comfort of my home. I don't go anywhere. Just everything is in my home. So, yeah.
Oh God. Okay. I'm trying to get it together. All right, back to you. All right. When was the last time you was intimate with someone? You don't have to answer.
Maybe a few weeks ago.
Okay, they're telling me to ask you this question. You're an actress.
Yes.
Are you an actress in adult films?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I do have a few movies that I'm in on Tubi, and actually some things that's going on with MTV. I can't really say, so I am an actress.
Okay. And when was the last time you was intimate with someone?
A few weeks ago.
All right. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Sometimes I can never say no, and I'm very naive at sometimes, and I can be a bit of an introvert. And I was in radio too, Kendra, so I do admire that about you.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
But no. I'm a great person. I'm a very cool person. I'm down to earth. I'm not picky. I'm not materialistic. I cater to my man. I have those old school values that my mom and my dad taught me. So.
Okay. So, man, tonight we are talking, man. Black culture is trash. Let me hold on one second. Let me get this off. All right. Okay. So that's video number 1. So I'm sure everybody saw the young lady. Shout out to Kendra G. I said definitely go check her out. She has some interesting stuff on her platform. But definitely go check her out. So I want to have this conversation. Let's say there's a couple of videos that came over around this particular topic. And it is essentially around, some of the things that we out here doing, what our culture, I don't even know if you can call it that anymore, what our culture has become, what we're representing our culture with. So y'all want to have a conversation. So y'all all saw the video. I know we had some comments coming in. And even right, man, she said, shaking my head. Donovan said, old school values. Where? Kenyatta said, old school values. Even Wright said, not one shown. So I want to come to the panel because I think that was an interesting video for multiple reasons. I want to see what y'all saw, what's y'all opinions on it. So I'm coming to the panel. Let me know. Let me know where y'all stand. Let me know what y'all saw. Anybody come off mute, say what you want to say, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead, Coco.
I'll just jump in real quick because I'm kind of speechless. That's the first thing I thought when I heard that, like Donovan, Kenyatta, like you guys obviously noticed. Like, how are you going to say I was raised with old school values when you're on Donald Trump's internet with your reptilian tongue hanging out of your mouth with saliva running all down your, like, that's just disgusting. And then you want to turn around and say old school values. I'm actually surprised. I'm not gonna lie. When she said that all her kids, and listen, it's probably wrong of me to think this, but when she said that all her kids were by one man, I was shocked. I was actually surprised. I was surprised. I was, because she's not giving that. She's not giving that. And I hate that for her, because if she is someone who actually does claim to have old school values, she didn't show any of that. She didn't display any of that. No wifely character, just like Andre said, no wife. What is a man supposed to think when he sees that? He's definitely gonna reach out. Oh, they definitely gonna reach out, but it's not gonna be for any substance at all. They're not gonna be reaching out to you for any kind of real relationship. They're only going to be reaching out to you for what you can do for them. Period. She set herself up, and honestly, maybe that's all she's looking for. Maybe that's all she really wants, because that's all she gave. But this is what we mean by our culture is trash, right? Like, she was proud of herself. She's proud of herself. And then the interesting thing about it is, if you're so proud of it that you're, every 5 seconds you want to whip that thing out, then why didn't you just say that? Why didn't you come on the show when she asked you what your job was? Why didn't you just say, I'm a tongue model on OnlyFans? Why didn't you just say that? Because that's not acting. You're not an actress. Don't do that. Don't do that. So let's just say that. Y'all, you guys do this stuff. You come on the internet, but then you low key you're really not confident. You're really not secure in it. If you're going to do that, say it with your chest. I don't have anything else.
Okay. No, that's real right there. Beatbox, Herschel, y'all good right now? Come off mute. Go ahead, Beatbox.
Same thing with Mr. Price said. Yeah, y'all should check out Kendra G. I love watching Kendra G. It's a pastime of mine to remind me not to keep my wife if I'm feeling like I don't know, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm joking, but seriously, man, probably people should watch it just to be illuminated as far as what's out there. This is the worst I've seen, or one of the worst I've seen. Like Coco said, I thought she was going to have, she was probably going to be like 2 for 4 or 3 for 4, but because of how drastic the age differences were, and sometimes women on there will lie, so I have a feeling maybe she's lying about that. That's just my opinion, but all in all, man, that is, I'm embarrassed. It was cringy to watch. Like, if you have a sexual preference, that's cool, right? I get it. Like I want my man, whatever, that's fine. But I don't know, man. Like, that's the first thing. Not like I want a man of integrity. I want a man who's going to be able to take care of me and my children, to be the leader of my household. No, the first thing you're talking about is package. So, and maybe, like as Coco said, maybe that's all she really wants. Maybe she just wants a friend or a continuous sneaky link, as the young people would say. If that's what she wants, that's fine. But that's probably all she's going to really get, and that's unfortunate. So, yeah, I was cringing for her. God bless her.
All right, appreciate that right there. Herschel, Joe, JR, y'all want to say anything? Y'all good right now, man? Go ahead, Herschel.
Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'm a Nas fan, so I don't know. I just kept hearing that tune. I don't know if y'all remember the song "Black Girl Lost."
Yep.
that's just all that was just running through my head, and it's just, I don't know. That's all I gotta say right now about it. I'm just a little still speechless myself. It seemed like for that video, everything wrong that she could say, she said it. That's just what I feel like. Just like, come on, don't fit the category of like just be the most, ratchet female on the planet. But that's all I'm gonna say. Because I don't want to be like sound like I'm bashing nobody, nothing like that. But yeah, it was kind of kind of bad, and it's sad that she was like, that's her norm, because she seemed like she wasn't saying anything off or out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? But that's how. That's
So
yeah.
so Herschel, let me ask you this, man. So just as a man, give me your honest opinion. If a young lady comes out the gate, talking about the package, like, what's the first thing? Listen, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be serious. Like, 'cause I said, we had these conversations. I know sometimes these videos that we see can be a little wild, right? But we try to have these conversations to help us see things differently or go down a different path, right? So just as a man, when you hear a woman and one of the first things that comes out of her mouth is about a package, or if he's well endowed or his size, like, where does that take you as the man? Like, what kind of what do you hear when you hear that? Like, how are you? Because I want women to hear how that comes off to men. So, like, how does that sound to you, or what do you interpret from that when a lady says something like that?
All right, for me, you know, in my youth, I'd have been like geeked, like, okay, let's get it. But as a, you know, on a serious note, as a grown adult male that's out here on the market, first thing for me is like that I can't bring her home to mama.
Right.
You know, unfortunately, because and she's just like for the streets, and it's like she'll be somebody that I'm just like gonna play around with or something, and that or fling or whatever. That's how I would view it. I couldn't take that seriously. I mean, because the reality is, all women probably are thinking or feeling about what she says. Because you know, let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? All women want that, and for the most part, you know, heterosexual women at least. But a actual lady doesn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not going to be her initial, you know, like deal breaker or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The deal breaker should be, can he support you? Can he take care of you? Can he protect you? You know, those type of things. Those are the deal breakers right there. You know, I mean, does he have long money? Or you know, as far as like for generational wealth or those type of things. Is he a good father figure? Could he be a good father for my kid that I want to have or something? You know, those are the things that matter. But that, you know, again, the sexual stuff matters too. But if that's the first thing that come out, you know, because, you know, I mean, most guys don't even, that ain't the first thing we come out with. You know what I'm saying? We trying to just serenade and trying to court, you know what I'm saying? But even though we thinking it, you know, but at least it's certain ways to do it. So yeah, again, I couldn't bring her home to mama.
Okay, so just her coming out the gate with that type of request, that kind of knocks her down in the running.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be honest.
I mean, I respect her honesty and everything, you know, but she ain't for me. That's not for me.
Right. Okay. No, I appreciate that, man. I just wanted to see where you stood on that. I think a lot of guys would agree. Let me check in with Joe. Joe, I saw you come off. Go ahead, Joe. You down there, Joe? I can't hear him. JR, you want to say something, man?
Yeah. Go on, Joe.
Oh no, you can go.
Cheers. Yeah. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. Weather's getting better. You know, 16 degrees. Obviously, the positive one. So yeah, the mood's getting better, man, in the UK. So yeah, not bad. But yeah, obviously, like Beatboxer said, obviously tune in to the Kendra G show and whatnot. But obviously, I think a lot of people do go in there. Some try and do, you know, be serious. Some go in there probably for just entertainment, you know, probably get a little bit of clout or something like that, right? But I was just looking at it, and then I just thought, you know what? It's just quite sad, because this is obviously an older woman who's got kids and all that stuff, you know, and whichever one, they're both bad. But the fact that she's got 4 boys, right? And this is what she's displaying out there. It's like, woman, come on, you know? I mean, there's one can say, you know, the talent for the tongue thing or whatever it is, right? You know, her and her twin sisters can do it. Let's just say it's just them two in the world. We understand that you're gonna take advantage of it and all them kind of things, right? But there's just certain things that some people just don't find attractive. And I think that's just one of them. As a forget just being as a woman, right? Just as a mother. Like you've lived your life. And as the video was going, I'm just sitting on thinking, damn, rest in peace to her husband. Because I can imagine what people are thinking now by looking at her. Too many red flags. You know, if she's lying now, maybe she could have been lying before. When her husband was here, we don't know. Obviously speculation, but yeah, it's just not a good look. Especially, like I said, older women as well. If it was a younger woman, fair is, you know, I'm like, you know, fair enough. She got time to change or whatever it is. But this is a woman that's been married, come out the game, right? Or left the streets, shall we say, only to go back into it.
We lose JR? Oh, he went on mute. Okay. All right, cool. No, I appreciate that comment right there, JR. Joe, you want to say something real quick, man?
She's very clearly open with her sexuality. She has said on camera what a lot of women, in my experience, hold back, but it usually comes out in various different ways. That 50 Shades of Grey type of fantasies and desires that they have, that frankly, because of conversations like that, like this, which in a way shames them for expressing this overtly. So it's not that they have these desires and feelings, is that there's a place and there's a time to do it. It's essentially what they're saying. Even Herschel said, you know, we're all thinking that as men, what we want to do with the woman. But a lot of us kind of play the game of courtship and I want to do this to you, buying them flowers. But the hidden agenda behind it is a lot of times what that woman is expressing, but we have our way of doing it too. You know, I want to I want to bend her over. You're thinking this, you're feeling this. I can only imagine what she looks like. But you have to kind of play the suave guy. You have to kind of put it under wraps. She just put it all out there in the open up front. So I'm not saying necessarily it's a good thing, nor am I saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that this is how a lot of people actually feel, especially women. But for whatever reason, she's bold enough to put that out there. And secondly, she's been married before, and apparently it was successful because she's a widow, so they didn't get divorced. I would assume it's for a number of years because they probably have teenage sons. Apparently, that's what she had. So to say that she's not marriage material because she's uh, overtly sexual with her desires um, may not even be the case. Like perhaps how she got her husband and kept him is not just because of the sexual things, but that they just had a sexual compatibility, which I feel like if more marriages had that, a lot more marriages would last. So I'm sure he died a happy man because he wasn't deprived of those particular activities that she is openly saying that she's willing to indulge with a man. And the things she was doing, it's a lot of man's fantasies and desires too. So to say that she's going to be just a jump off, maybe you might have a case if she had like a baby daddy for each of the children she had. But the fact they all came from one man, that we assume was happily married until he passed away. I wouldn't rule out the possibility that these are just the things she's showing up front, but certainly behind the scenes, assuming she has a layered character, that there's other things that she's offering other than just the sexual activities. But she's not hiding that. She's not being pretentious about it. She's not being coy about it. She's saying, this is what I offer up front. This is what I'm looking for in the bedroom. If you want the same thing, cool. And then everything else probably falls into place, however way that works. So again, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I just think it's interesting.
Okay. All right. No, I appreciate that right there. Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody's input on this particular one. Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. When I saw this video, You were right. What'd you say? Even right caller, Joe.
Hey.
No, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
I
Oh man.
mean,
Was I
I
wrong?
mean,
Was I
I
wrong?
mean, I'm not trying to say he put on a cape, but
Just saying.
Superman, you know, just saying.
I've been shocked what women have told me behind the scenes. Like when they get me
Can't
into
make
like a
this shit
dark
up.
corner, they'll tell me things. They'll be like, "This is what I want." The stuff she was saying on camera is what they've told me in person, but they're so afraid of saying it out loud and expressing that because of that social judgment that they get. So that church girl, that thing that they think that we want, and then we get with those women and they become sexually repressed because of it. She's like, I am who I am. She's what, in her 40s. She's
But
look. This is
nobody,
what I thought.
but nobody is telling her to be repressed with her man, her husband. We're not telling her that. What we're saying is it's
Supposed to be
okay.
restrained.
First of all, it's okay for you to, like sex. It's okay for you to want to have sex. Like this is a natural thing, right? What we're saying is maybe that's not the first impression you want to give someone who is wanting to find someone to be with, right? Like, unless that's all you want. If all you want is that and that's all you're going for, then hey, do you. But if you really are trying to find somebody of substance, then that's probably not the first impression because you're going to get a lot of trash because what you gave us was trash. Like you're not going to the ones that are going to reach out to you in larger numbers are going to be the guys that just really want to play around with you. They're not going to be the ones that really want to take you seriously. You're right. She is someone who was married, had all her kids with her deceased husband. So I'm not calling her a 304. I really don't know her to say that. What I'm saying is you didn't give us anything else, though. You didn't even give us qualities that you want in a man. You only said you cared about his package, his endowment. That's it. You didn't give us anything to go off of. All you did was kept licking out your tongue, and we're seeing pictures of saliva running down your mouth. Like we can't. It's not. It doesn't show well. It doesn't show well. So nobody's telling her she can't like sex, she can't enjoy sex, she can't. Nobody is saying that. What we're saying is don't lead out the gate with that before we know anything else about what you want, where you from, what you do, what you into. You didn't give us anything. Like that was like the first thing you led with it. And my question is why? You say you're an actress, you've been in a few Tubi movies. Like it would have been cool if you would have dropped a couple of names of those movies you've been in instead of like just putting that out there and kind of making that what we remember you by and now how we know you. You know what I'm saying? I might have watched a movie that this girl is in. I don't know, but it's like I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying she should. We're not telling everybody to be prudes. And as for the shame thing, honestly, you guys know how I feel about that. I think we need to bring shame back.
I feel too.
I think there's nothing wrong with a healthy amount of shame for you to feel like I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe this ain't the right thing to say, or maybe this isn't the right thing to wear. Like I think it's okay to just have a healthy amount of it. Just you know what I mean? That's all
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I think also
Yeah,
that
no,
she's doing it because it's an insecurity. She's an older woman. She has 4 kids, and so she's appealing to, well, the qualities I had when I was in my 20s. Other men may not want. So this is what I'm going to lead with. That's what I saw. And she's believing, even though that may not have been what she did to get her husband in the first place, most likely not, because that's how they lasted. But now it's a different dynamic. How's she going to attract the type of man that she thinks she want? I'm gonna lead with my tongue, quite literally. I'm gonna lead with sex, even though we know it's not going to lead there. That's the belief that she has, and I guess that's just the way it is.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. Let me get some of these comments. Then I'm gonna come back to the panel. Let's see. Kenyatta says, let's see, she was on a video that will never come down. Kendra does not take down videos. All I thought about is her sons might see this one day.
Oh yeah, she got a point.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one right there, Kenyatta. Let's see. Eva Wright said, Kenyatta, same terrible example. How will they respect women? Two great comments right there. Yeah, I wanted to say this. I said, just watching the video, couple points that just stood out. She says she was 46 years old, so 4 years shy of being 50. Yeah, previously married, 4 boys, which a spread of ages across the boys. How has this become so acceptable in our so-called culture? Yeah, that's the title for tonight. Black culture is trash. It's like, how has this become so acceptable? Yep, at 46 years old, we talk about the fact that, as we get older, we become more wise. We learn things. We start to, well, hopefully you're already mature at that point, but clearly that's not the case in all situations. But we're supposed to be so much more wise. Then we're in a situation where, we've made a choice to, get married at some point, in the young lady's particular situation, get married at some point. She's had 4 kids, 4 sons for that matter. So 4 sons. And you out on a dating show leading with some sex. And it's like, what kind of example does this set for your boys? To Eva Wright's point of, your boys respecting women as they get older. It's like, what type of example are we setting now? Yeah, why is this stuff okay now? Why is this stuff acceptable now? Yeah, some of the things that I see now, this would have never flew. This never would have flew. But 46 years old. Yep, 46 years old. Yep, and then seeing the video, it also makes me question sometimes, is this a man problem? And I hate to say it, but it's an honest question. Is this a man problem? Because see, she's displaying all of her, sexual benefits for a man. If she's only fanning for a man, if somebody's paying them subscriptions, if somebody's making them payments every month. Yeah, she said on the video, she I think she make more of the OnlyFans money than the Tubi money. So let's just be honest. Her primary job is OnlyFans. It's not Tubi. Tubi just a little backup. That's a little play money. But the primary money that's paying the bills for her and the 4 sons is OnlyFans money. And I'm just gonna take a guess or make an assumption that it's men paying the subscriptions. So sometimes when I see these type of scenarios, let's say in our culture, which clearly has hit the bottom at this point, when I see some of these things, it's like, where's the problem really at? Is the problem in the woman in this scenario, or is the problem in her fans? So it just makes you wonder. And then the last piece, I'll say, and then I'll come back to the comments. She said that she is a great person and she follows old school values. And I'm like, what's the old school values? Because when I think about old school values, I didn't see the old school ladies from the old school times. First of all, they wasn't on OnlyFans. That didn't exist. Now I'm not saying there wasn't some other avenues that was out there back then, but they wasn't on OnlyFans. Yeah, but I definitely didn't see them out in the public forums with the tongues dripping with saliva and whatever else she had going on. I didn't see that. So I don't know what's old school about this young lady in the video. And I said, I don't know the young lady, in the video personally at all, right? This is really just for the case study aspect, for the conversation. But it's just some of the stuff that we're doing. It's like, how do we think or expect that these things are going to yield us good results? Like, how do we think that this is going to yield you a good second husband to come in and, you know, and father your children and take care of you and provide for you? Like, how do we think that this is going to do that? Like, that's not what you're marketing. Yeah, you marketing on lust. And that's not going to secure you a solid man. That's just not how that works. Yep, and don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure some guys will entertain and play with you, but I'm willing to bet money it's not going to be anything serious. It's not going to be anything long lasting. It's not going to be anything worth your time, honestly, if we're going to be honest. Yes, I'm just trying to understand the mindset and how we got here. Yeah, how do we get to the point where this is the move? Like, how do we get to this point? Yeah, to Joe's point, you know what I'm saying? I know she's being, you know, forward with it, right? But young ladies used to keep this on the low. Yeah, they ain't want everybody to know they was out there like that. Now, once you know they found their man or got with their man or their boyfriend or got married or whatever it was, then okay, you get a chance to see this side of her, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, you know. But it's like all the ladies that from back in the day, like she said, from this traditional, this old school value time, they didn't want everybody to know what they was doing. Yeah, they was trying to keep stuff on the low. They was trying to keep some stuff for a special man when he came along, when their husband, when their boyfriend, or whoever it was. But they wasn't just out here broadcasting. If it wasn't going out to the world. And then the other thing is, you know, then I'll be quiet for a minute because I see we got a lot of comments coming in. The other thing was, you definitely move different when you have kids involved. Yep, and that's the part that's really throwing me. Yeah, when she gave the ages of her sons, some of them are teenagers. So they got access to the internet and everything else. Yeah, so what type of position do you put your teenage sons in when you out here on the internet with your tongue out, with saliva dripping off your tongue? What type of message does that send to your sons? And then what type of backlash do they got to receive from it? Yeah, what does that feel like as a teenage son and some dude walking up to you talking about, yeah, man, I seen your mama. Yeah, your mama a piece of work. And you looking at my man like, what kind of position do that put the teenage son in? Do he knock you out? Or do he just come talk to his mom and be like, what kind of position do you put him in? And he's supposed to, you know, he gonna be a grown man one day.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Some of this stuff is wild, man. And that's why I said we really got to look at what we are calling culture and how we moving out here in this culture. And we really got to check ourselves because some of this stuff is crazy. Yeah, when you somebody's mama and daddy, you got to move a certain way. I know everybody might not agree with that, but that's my position. Yeah, but I got sons. So I got to set an example out here. I can't be out here wilding. I can't be out here on the internet with all types of chicks. I got sons and a whole wife. Like, I can't be out here acting a clown. I got to set an example because I don't want them to be out here acting clowns. But yeah, some of the stuff that we do today, and we just brush it off like it's okay, like it doesn't come with any repercussions. Like Kenyatta said, like this video ain't going to be up here forever. Like it's not going to be seen by tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on with folks today. Joe, you want to say something, man? Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You said about the man and the role that they play in this. Oh, that's the question. So I was going to ask, is it fair to say that it's a man's fault for having his natural biological drive hijacked in such a way in which, because of social media, this woman is not the exception to the rule. Almost 90% of women are doing what she's doing in some way, shape, or form on social media, whether it's showing some cleavage, whether it's doing this, doing that, been over, TikTok videos, whatever. is it fair to say that it's a man's fault for being bombarded with the natural sexuality of a woman because we are visual creatures? So are we just supposed to ignore it? You would say have discipline. I agree. But before, this wasn't an issue because we didn't have the social media. We didn't have this ability for one woman to take her sexuality and explode it out to the world and then seduce those men and then say, well, it's the man's fault. Because it's like, I don't know, it's confusing. I
I
don't even
got
know
you.
if I know what I'm trying to ask the question, but I think I lost the question because it
No,
seems like it's a
listen,
two-way street.
I understand what you're asking. I
We're
think, look, I
exploiting
might.
us, but then we're like, oh, it's your fault for allowing yourself to be exploited. But it's like, this is our, like, I see something like that and I have to turn my head away because I'm not going to pretend to say, oh, that doesn't appeal to me. I just have to, but a lot of men don't, it's an instinct. It's like, wow, okay. And it's like, wait a second, that ain't right. But first, before that comes, it's damn. And then afterwards with discipline. But a lot of guys, I don't know. I don't know if it's fair to say a woman knows what they're doing. They know
Beatbox
what
will
they're
hit you,
doing.
man. Beatbox
They
will
know
hit
what they're
you.
doing. But maybe
Beatbox,
you can answer that somewhat nebulous question I was trying to ask, but didn't really ask.
I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna let Beatbox going to get the first shot on this. Then I'm gonna answer. Go ahead, Beatbox.
Listen, Joe, like you can just ignore it. Like it's not. Yeah, you can admire and just keep it moving. Why? Porn is free. I mean, if you really need to do something, just do it by yourself. But, bro, like one, it's a little misogynistic to say, well, men can't handle it. We just can't handle ourselves. We just have to do it. Like that's crazy. We are not animals. Like we have higher thinking. Hopefully, some of us have higher thinking. So to just say, oh, I just I couldn't handle it. Like if I went to my wife and said, hey, I cheated on you because I just saw one with her tits out. I couldn't handle it. That she would smack me. Like you can't. That level of thinking is so dumb. And men just need to be better. I personally think, Mr. Price, that I think we said this before, but I do think a lot of this is a male problem. Women wouldn't be doing this if men wouldn't be buyers. Men need to stop being buyers. Men need to stop going on OnlyFans. All these things that men complain about when it comes to sexuality and stuff, that's on us, bro. I'm sorry. It just really is. Until as a group we get together and say, hey, we will not have sex with these women. We will not patronize these women. We will not give them the male gaze. None of this, a lot of this stuff is not going to stop. It just won't. Like, so, yeah, Joe, men need to grow a pair and just don't give these women a lot of attention. Just don't do it. Otherwise, for some women, sex is enough. So the attention is enough. So we got to stop all of that. We just have to. And saying, well, men can't help themselves. That's just that's an excuse. I think it goes back to the last show we had. It's an excuse that a lot of men say I can't control myself. And you'll hear that in a lot of like fundamentalist groups will say things like, well, women need to cover themselves because men cannot control themselves because of usually there's a religious aspect to that. Listen, women get attention every day, even if she's wearing a niqab. Like even if she's walking around in Saudi Arabia, if you can see the silhouette, men are going to give her some attention. So to be honest, men, do better, please. Because this woman wouldn't be sticking her tongue out if she wasn't getting male attention and the male gaze.
Right. Let me get this comment. I think that's is that SG? E? I think that might be SG. Let me know if I'm saying that right. ESSGEE. She said, agreed. Men can stop the shamefulness. Let's see the shamefulness by not entertaining it. Yeah, no. So this is where I was on. I appreciate that comment right there. This is where I was at with it, Joe. Just to answer your question, the reason why sometimes I ask is this a man problem? And this is also supporting what Beatbox was saying as well, because I said at the end of the day we supporting it. Yeah, you think about, in this young lady's particular situation, she's talking about she's on OnlyFans. It's like if men stop supporting OnlyFans, it would literally go out of business. Yep, if men stop responding to young ladies coming on Kendra G with their tongue out with saliva dripping off their tongue, it would stop because nobody would be enthused by it. Nobody would be attracted to it. Nobody would be engaging on it. And that's why I say sometimes when some of these situations, I know that the young lady may be initiating it, but if she can't get a response, if she can't get a rise out of the opposite sex, at some point she would have to make a change or she would have to stop. And that's why I say at the end of the day, sometimes we have to consider that some of these are a male problem, because this is going back to the fundamental structure of relationships, right? We're always talking about the fact that men should lead or men need to lead. So in this particular situation, if men led the charge and said, we are no longer going to support any women who don't know how to act and conduct themselves, what would their option be at that point? Yep, and especially for the woman who's looking for a relationship. And that's why sometimes when we look at these situations, we got to look at ourselves as men in these situations as well. Yep, a lot of this stuff, we could put it to bed. Yeah, we could put it to rest. Yep, stop supporting the OnlyFans. Yep, stop supporting the porn or whatever else. Yep, stop supporting the nonsense. And if we did that, stop lusting after these chicks and liking their pics on social media and all this other nonsense that fellas do. If we stopped doing all of that, what would happen to these young ladies like the lady in the video? Go ahead, Herschel. I saw you come off.
Yeah, my perspective of that, as far as us men being to blame, is that like back in the late 80s, early 90s, you know, like with the self-destruction songs and those type of things during that era, you know, like we used to like protect our women, you know what I'm saying? Like we used to like try to be more respectful toward them and to call them queens and all that type of stuff. And I think we're not doing enough of that in this day and age. And so we're just as guilty if we're, you know, like we're a lot, like we're just, it's like picture like that, like those are our daughters, you know what I'm saying? That's how you have to look at it. Like, you know, and we're letting them be exploited or just be viewed as like objects. And I mean, that's been going on since the beginning of time. But again, it's not enough of us like out here putting it out there, even on social media, saying, hey, you know you're a queen, you know, you should leave that for your husband, you know, your husband's eyes, those type of things, and just cover up a little bit. You know, we don't need to see that, or give us something to think about, give us something to, you know, wonder about, those type of things. I don't see that enough on social media. I see too much of, like you're saying, like too much of the purchasing of and entertaining, you know, the other end of it. So yeah, so that's where we are. You know, we play a role in it too. You know, a major role. You know, we just need more of that. We need more, you know, guys just standing up and just like looking like cornballs or squares. You know what I'm saying? Just saying like they respect their women. We just need more of that. Unfortunately, that's how it's viewed. You know what I'm saying?
Does it work?
If you
Does
sit
it
here,
actually work though?
say that again.
So does that approach work? That we should be more like cornballs and
Well,
doing that whole Prince?
that was
Okay,
a
I was
thing.
hoping. So I was like, does it work?
I'm saying because some people view that like, you know, you being like, you know, like what I'm saying, like being like a gentleman. Some people that they don't take to that. They don't take that too well, unfortunately. But we need to do, we just need to like stand up and just keep doing that, you know.
That's real. Appreciate that right there. JR, I saw you pop off, man. You want to get something off your chest?
Yeah, I'll just obviously just going off the last question that I think it's Joe that asked, right?
Right.
So obviously I'm a blame beatboxer, right? Because it don't create a whole lot of mess in the streets and it don't left us. But
come on.
basically what I was gonna say, sorry beatbox, I didn't mean to. Sorry. But yeah, now the question I want to basically ask was, yeah, like, I get the obviously Joe's argument and I also get the response. So I was obviously kind of thinking like, cool. So there's an incentive for both parties, right? To benefit. The men get the, you know, short term or medium, long term sexual gratification, and the women get short term money, mid term, long term money, right? So that's the incentive. But back in the day, once upon a time, the incentive was sex for men, right? And obviously, the women also had their own incentives for giving away the sex. But I think it's more the mindset that we're doing it under at the moment. So my question was, like, should there be an incentive when it comes to sex? So then that way, both parties benefit under the right, situation. Because, like, we both agree that both parties do want to have sex, but we're not doing it under the right situation. But like I said, the incentive is there, but it's not the right incentive under the right situation. So I'm all trying to ask, like, should there be an incentive for both men and women to have sex?
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously,
There should
more
be.
Miss Chloe to answer that. Obviously, as a woman, like, what do you think? Because like I said, I get, I don't want to come back here and be like, oh, nah, but it's not meant for, because it's excuses, right? We're trying to get somewhere, so I'm just trying to get to, like, should there be an incentive? What should it be for both men and, like,
Mhm. Yeah, I think that, and you guys, people are gonna have mixed opinions about how I view it, and I get that. I understand it. It's cool, but if you want me to know, if you want to know, then this is my answer. For women, how it was when we actually had a higher moral standard for ourselves for women. I'm speaking women right now. When women had a higher moral standard, right? When we had a higher moral standard, we weren't giving it up unless y'all made some type of commitment to us. Like, we just weren't. And that commitment gave us certain securities. That commitment gave us, a certain level of protection. We knew we were going to be provided for. So that was the incentive for us, right? That was what we knew we would be getting, because we weren't just giving it up to anybody and everybody just because we wanted some sex, right? We got ours, but only after we made sure that all of the other things were taken care of in terms of us as women, right? We, as long as we were the protected class, right, in that scenario, then it was all good. I think for women, because I can only speak from the female side, I think for women, when we began to start hunching for free, that's when it became a problem on our end. We never should have started hunching y'all for free. We never should have done that. We never should have allowed y'all to hunch on us with no type of protection, no type of, I mean, some of y'all not even claiming these women. Y'all don't even know them. And women were allowing that. And now because women allowed it, men expect it. So now women are confused when a woman comes up and says, oh, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't, no, I mean, I'm just mad. We just mad. Like, let's get to know each other. Now men are confused. They're like, wait, what? What do you mean? They're confused because the standard has dropped so low. So yeah, we do need to get, I don't care what anybody says. We do need to get back to the point where there was a incentive for women. There is an incentive for men. And men can speak to that side, but I'll be honest, from a female perspective, women have snatched back the things that were incentives for y'all. The things that were an incentive for men, that women, that they knew they'd be getting in return, women are starting to snatch those things back. So I don't know what, like, other than just that temporary, experience, what are y'all getting? Maybe y'all can, because from a female perspective, what are men getting out of it? Except for that experience, that initial experience, what are men getting? Because yeah, women no longer value the same things. They don't prioritize the same things. Women are not willing to do the same things that they were willing to do. The things that men used to look forward to, that they were getting in return, a lot of women now are not willing to give those things. They'll give up the hunch, but they're not giving up all the other things. So y'all have to tell me, what do y'all think the exchange should be?
Good question.
What you gonna say to that, JR?
Oh, he can respond. He wanted to.
Was that to me? Yeah.
Yeah, that's to you, man.
Yeah.
She said,
Yeah.
tell
Somebody
him.
just go. Cause I got a train coming past. 1 second.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe, till you free up. Go ahead.
So when you said, Chloe, that a lot of women aren't, they're giving up the goods early, freely. The woman in my picture right there, she told me that she had something like 8,000 followers on Instagram, all men, of course. And then the moment she said she was celibate, she just put the word celibate on her page. And then it went from 8,000 to 2,000 in like less than 14 days. And then she would show me examples of men who would ghost her as soon as they realized they're not going to get anything what they thought they was going to get from any interaction with her. So she's in this predicament where now she's believing, I don't even think it's possible for me to be with a man who is going to value the things other than just what they think they can get from me, which is just sex, because they're not looking for anything more. So I watch her mentally process this and thinking, well, maybe I should just do what all the other women are doing. And it's because the majority of men are looking for that thing. And I think it's unfortunate, really. So that's all I had to add to it so far.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. I just, like I said, what is it that we've just gotten impatient? Is that what it is? So we just want to throw it out there and see if we can get somebody to bite real fast. Like what has happened? Go ahead, B-Box.
So to Coco's point, like, back in the day, sex was connected to marriage. But you had a lot of these movements that happened during that time, civil rights, women's movement, all that stuff, that gave people more power and input into their lives. But so it definitely gave women more liberation sexually. My thing is that on one hand, the tying marriage to sex, that only worked because people were forced to be together during those times. I think nowadays people aren't forced. People are only with each other for hedonistic reasons, meaning people are only with each other because they like each other, not because a man has to provide or a woman has to stay at home, right? So
B-Box, let me grab you for a quick minute. You just made a point. I want to question it real fast. So you said that back in those times that people were forced to be together. Why do you say that?
Well, the social pressure. So socially, it was really unacceptable for people to have sex and not be together, or having children not be together. But women also were forced in general because they couldn't really, even if they went out to work, there was really no economic prospects there. So we got to kind of be honest with that women were screwed in some ways. We just gotta be honest.
But women were protected. Women were the protected class at that time. And this is the thing that, and I'm gonna let you cook, but women were the quote unquote protected class at that time. And this is speaking to women, not necessarily to you, but what women don't understand is it was a trade-off. You gave up something. Yes, you were able to be now sexually liberal and you were able to do all these things, but you lost some things. You are running around now saying women are unprotected. Why do you think that is as a woman? Why do you think that is? It's because you are no longer looked at as the protected class. That is not you anymore because you wanted to come from up under that, right? So because you wanted to come from up under that, now you're running around here screaming about how you're unprotected. You're unprotected. Yeah, you are. Because guess what? In life, everything is a trade-off. It's push and pull. It's give and take. So you don't get to have all of this freedom and all this liberation and all of this and think that it's not going to cost you anything. That's absolutely ridiculous for you to think that, right? So no, I agree with you. Maybe some people were pushed into it. I'm sure there was. But this is why I believe in bring shame back, because some of y'all asses, excuse me. Some of y'all should have been forced to marry because you shouldn't have been laying down. You shouldn't have been doing what you was doing, right? Some of y'all needed the shotgun because y'all should, if you didn't want it, you shouldn't have been doing it. See, the thing is they held y'all responsible for your actions. Now people are able to do whatever they want and they don't have to be held immediately responsible for it. This is why we're in the situation that we're in. So let me let you go because I interrupted you.
No,
But
I agree, but so but here's my thing. My thing is this: I personally don't think everybody deserves marriage. That's my thing. Is this? I think that people shouldn't be put in boxes that they shouldn't be put into, right? And I think we're seeing a natural selection of some of this stuff, right? So when women say, well, I'm not protected, well, the only way you're going to get protected, baby girl, is if you're under some sort of man's leadership or some sort of cooperation with a man, right? So these ideas, let's even use the Black American context, right? A lot of Black women were protected because of outright racism. Let's just keep that a foul out, right? So, and you had a lot of Black women who actually were, in a lot of ways, respectful to Black men. Now, things that me and JR and Joe have talked about, that's not really the case anymore. So when you hear things like women like, I'm not protected, I'm not this or that, well, you picked what you picked. And by the way, even if you're forced, in my opinion, if women were even forced to be like in some sort of marriage, it would suck. I just think that some people just ain't gonna make it, women included, right? So what I'm saying is there needs to be women where you are just going to be a concubine to somebody. That's it. That's all. That's what's going to happen. That just is what it is. I'm just being honest. We have to be honest here because back in the day, that's what I'm saying. People were,
come on.
Some women were bad people and they were stuck. Men were stuck with them. Let's just be honest. That's true. Men were stuck with some of these ladies. Vice versa. Because we see all these books all the time of men, like Color Purple, right? Man beating on his wife. Those things happen, right? So women were stuck in that, but also men were also stuck with women they didn't like. Let's just be honest here. Let's just be honest. So now we get to see who's who, and I like it. I want to see who's who because I don't want to be stuck with nobody. I'd rather be by myself than be stuck with a woman who's horrible, right? And I think women are the same way. So to answer your question, Coco, I do agree that commitment and sex should be aligned, but we live in the real world, and people are going to do what they want, and not everybody deserves marriage. Not everybody deserves commitment. Not everybody deserves a provider. Not everybody does. There's a lot of things nobody deserves. So if you choose some certain things, then you're going to get different outcomes. So men and women, that's just how I feel about it, man. Not everybody deserves a commitment, women included.
Well, then go find the concubines. Go find the okay. So
I'm married. Don't put me there. I'm married.
Not you, but I mean for the men that feel that way, and even for the women that feel that way, right? So then go find the concubines, right? Because you're right. Listen, prostitution, concubines, all of that has been in existence since biblical times. Like this has been a thing forever, right? So like go find the concubines then. But that's not really what y'all do, though. That's not really what y'all do, right?
What we do.
Not every woman that y'all out here,
come on,
hunching with is a concubine or a 304. Not all of them are. Not all of them are. Right? Because y'all don't always look for that. Right? Some of these girls y'all coming across, don't get me wrong, they enjoy the physical aspect of the relationship, but that doesn't automatically make them a 304. It doesn't automatically mean they are 304 because they like to engage in physical activities. Now, we can talk about frequency and all of that. We can talk about how frequent and all of this and all of that. We can get deep into it. But what I'm saying is a woman just enjoys that doesn't automatically mean she's a 304, right? But at the same time, let's just be honest, right? There is a certain level of pressure for women too to feel like this is an expectation that men have. So even if this is a man that I like, I might genuinely like this man, really genuinely like him. there's a certain level of pressure for her to feel like she got a hunch on you. She got to, because if she like you and she wants to try to, you know, make sure she's available to you so that you can see her as a real option because she makes herself available to you, that's a certain level of pressure as well, right? And let's just be honest, that pressure wasn't always a thing. It wasn't so heavy for women to feel like they had to hunch in order for a man to think that they really liked him like that, or for a man to think that they was really for him like that. She didn't have to hunch. It wasn't a prerequisite. But now, if a woman is kind of playing it like she don't know or she not quite ready, let's just be honest. Y'all second guess that woman. Y'all second guess her. Because in your mind, you might run through a scenario of, well, does she really like me like that? Is she just playing with me? Is she trying to get something out of me? Like, is she just trying to get me for something? You know, and she don't want to get, you know, like, you guys now have to run through all of these scenarios. Whereas before, it wasn't as much of an expectation, right? You understood if she was hesitant. You understood if she was a little apprehensive, because we wasn't just out here hunching everywhere on everybody. Now, because that is what the culture has become. And yes, it's the culture. And when we say culture, we mean what we see around us. It's not always that culture means Black people. The culture means white people. The culture means, you know, Arabic people. We're just saying Black people in this instance so you can understand who specifically we're talking about, right? Because there's the culture of society as a whole, and then there's subsets, there's categories, right? And we all know we belong to a category. So let's just stop playing. We know we belong to a category. We do. They categorize us in this country. They have. So when we say Black, just understand that's so you can know who we're talking about when we say culture. Right? So don't get lost in the sauce in the comments. Now, back to what I was saying. Like, y'all already know what's up. So B-Boxer is not wrong. No one should be forced. But at the same time, let's be honest, right? Like, y'all, let's be honest. We're talking about the y'all that are not the ones represented on the panel currently. Okay, y'all will be out here like y'all are having babies, 4, 5 different women, creating all of these single parent homes like you're doing. This is not something that was as prevalent. I'm not gonna say it never happened. It wasn't as prevalent before because it was frowned upon, because it wasn't supported. As a community, we didn't support it. Friends and families didn't support it. Moms and dads didn't support it. There was a level of shame. There was a level of responsibility. Like all of that was there. So what I'm saying is, even though we're living in modern times, that doesn't necessarily mean that we should then change our values. But because we have changed our values, that's why times have changed. Because we could have stood 10 toes down and said, just because you're allowing me to, as women, sleep with whomever I want to, sexual liberation, I can work, you working a job, baby girl, does not mean that you should not still be willing to come under a man's leadership just because you work a job and make your own money. Right. That's not what that means. You can do both. You don't have to pick. But see, what's happening is we become the generation of either or. Right. And the choices that we're making are honestly, they contradict what we say we want.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Let me get some of these comments real quick. Let's see. SG said facts. Black men should reclaim their stance for the culture. Let women know what is no longer acceptable. Yeah, that's all I'm saying right here. I appreciate this comment. I feel like fellas can shut a lot of this stuff down. Can shut a lot of this stuff down with what they say, the flip of a switch. We literally could. Yeah, but I think some of us we enjoy participating in it. And I think that's what it is. It holds us back from being able to say, you know what, I'm not good with this. I don't support it. I don't want it going on. So we just continue to ride, and I think that's part of the problem. So I think we got a piece in this as well. But I'm gonna take us to video number 2. Listen, I don't want to keep us all night. So this is number 2, just going back to the topic of Black culture is trash.
Vanity Fair Oscars after parties seem to have an unwritten theme. It was just a lot of nudity, okay? When I tell you the ladies bared it all on the red carpet, it was just almost too much to show on daytime TV. It was really bad. Like Julia Fox wore a completely sheer dress that barely covered her cookie jar. Okay, and I'm telling you, now we blurred it out. This was fully, you could see everything. Zoe Kravitz graced us with her butt crack. You could see everything. Megan Thee Stallion wore a dark green gown with only matching green pasties to cover up her breasts. And so this is where I have to put my Auntie Sherry wig on. And I say this with all of the love that I have. Ladies, this is not it. And I say this because there are young women, young girls who are looking up to all of you. All of you. And, like, you're gonna have these young girls, these young ladies emulating you. And you remember when your grandmother would tell you, let them use their imaginations. Be a little mysterious. But you know, when they look at these girls, they don't have any secrets. Nobody gets to use imagination or their mind. And I want to say, Megan Thee Stallion, I love you. I do. But I'm so upset because God gave you a legitimate gift. You got it. You are amazing with your lyrical rhymes and how smart you are. And I know people, a lot of these celebrities, they say they don't want to be a role model. But here's the thing. It comes with the territory, being a role model. You can't escape it because, Megan, when you said you graduated from college, do you know how many young girls you inspired to go to school also? You didn't ask for that. You didn't ask for that, but they were watching you.
All right. So yeah, shout out to Sherry. So this is another video just kind of touching on this topic with some of the stuff that we out here doing. So I know, let's say Sherry is catching heat right now. She catching heat. I think she on the cancel bus, on the cancel list right now, for just voicing her concerns around some of the things that she saw, you know what I'm saying, from some of the sisters, you know what I'm saying, that was at the event. So yeah, let's say once again, just touching on some of the stuff that we are doing, you know what I'm saying, within the culture, a part of the culture, people that are tied to the culture and some of the things that they're doing and marketing to the masses of us. Yeah, it just seems like it is a problem. And if anything, it's getting worse. Yeah, and I'm just trying to understand, do we understand what type of damage that we're actually doing out here? Let's see, Eva Wright said, let's see, that's where mothers come in for the younger ones. Just because you see it doesn't mean you have to do it. Yeah, no, that's facts. That's facts right there. Appreciate that comment, Eva Wright. Let's see, I think that's Highway 20 Skinny. Sherry Shepherd took the Monique approach. It doesn't work. Drop me a comment, Highway. Why doesn't it work? Yeah, why doesn't their approach, Sherry and Monique, why doesn't their approach work? Drop a comment, let me know where you stand on that. Eva Wright said, I'm glad she said something. Yeah, no, I appreciate her saying something as well, using her platform to, you know what I'm saying, to put that out there. Let's say, because it is a problem. You know, because I know a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we have conversations on this platform because, like I said, once again, our overall goal is to move us as a whole in a better direction. You know what I'm saying, to get us to look at some of these things that we're out here doing, to get us to understand how some of the ways that we're moving is affecting the outcomes that we get. Yeah, we're saying we want to be in relationships, but then we're not moving like we want to be in relationships. We're saying we want to see better for the culture, but then we're not doing things that's going to better the culture. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, like I said, we got to have a conversation. Like I said, we got to call some of this stuff out because some of this stuff is getting wild and it's doing nothing but hurting us. You get some of these comments. Kenyatta says, so anytime a woman goes against the girl's culture, it becomes a problem. Now they want to cancel her. Yeah. Now you know how that go. Yeah, you voice your opinion out here against something that's going on, and yeah, everybody want to cancel you, unfortunately. Let's see. Nicole said, let's see. It was said some of the ladies don't want to be role models, so don't follow nor make them the face of the Black community. Yeah, so no, I appreciate this comment, Nicole. I think the piece that we have to consider though is just because you don't want to be a role model, it doesn't mean that you won't be a role model. Yeah, we have to understand when you're in certain situations or certain positions, or you have certain platforms, you naturally will become a role model to somebody. If somebody is going to look up to what you're doing, somebody is going to be watching how you're moving. Yep, and you don't even have to be a celebrity. You can just be a regular old dude who's a father, and trust and believe other little young boys who may not have that example to look up to, they're gonna be looking and watching you. They're gonna be saying, "Hey, this my buddy's father. I like how he move. I like what he doing. I want to roll like him." Yep, and you never signed up to be anybody's role model, but trust and believe somebody is watching and trying to emulate what you're doing, especially if you move in a certain way. Yeah, so I know what folks are saying, they don't want to be a role model, but once you get to a certain level of exposure and a certain level of platform, you're going to become somebody's role model. So we have to understand that. Let's see, Highway 20. Monique tried to stop the bonnets in the airport, and they stumped her out. Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah, they came for Monique with when she was calling out them bonnets, and I said she made a valid point. Yep, at the end of the day, Lester, if you're trying to market yourself, to the opposite sex because you're trying to be in a relationship or find someone to partner up with, and build with, like I say, you do have to be concerned with what you're putting out to the world. Yep, and to me, that's basic, that's common sense, or at least it should be. Yeah, you have to be concerned about what you put out to the world because it matters. It affects your relationships. It affects your possible opportunities. It can have effects on your kids if you have kids. It can have effects on your spouse if you have a spouse. So we have to be aware of that. Yeah, you can't just do anything and just think it's not going to have some type of effect. It will. Let's see, Andre Cable, he said at Highway, it's the truth. Black women just don't want to hear it. Yeah, no, I can feel that. Let's see, Highway said 100. Let's see, Andre said, this is why only 25% of Black women are married, don't want to be corrected by anyone. And that's another thing. Why? Yep, in 2025, why do we have such a hard time being corrected? Yeah, but we be honest with ourselves. We can't think that every single thing we do is great and perfect and it's okay. I know we don't believe that in 2025. Yeah, so being corrected and constructive criticism, that should never be a problem, especially if it's coming from somebody with good intentions. So yeah, I'm not sure why we going down that road. Let's see. SG says so many of our young women are dealing with low self-esteem, confidence, in turn exploited to be accepted. Yeah, no, I think that some of that's going on as well. And like I said, I don't think we understand some of the damage that we're doing for ourselves and our situation long term, by exploiting ourselves, for this attention and this acceptance. So appreciate that comment right there. Let's see. Eva Wright said, let's see, we had little Kim, etc., but women around you will prevent you from doing the type of stuff if you tried it. Yeah, no, folks used, like I said, folks used to put you in check. Like, hey, I know that's what you are trying to do, but no, let me tell you how that's gonna go. Let me tell you why you shouldn't do that. Let me get you to fall back, because that's not gonna turn out how you think it's gonna turn out. Yeah, but I think at some point we took a position as people where we say, you know what, it's not my problem. I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, we threw our hands up in the air and said, hey, it ain't directly affecting me, so I ain't gonna worry about it. But I think the part that we missed is what we don't understand is these things always end up eventually coming back to affect us. Yep, just because it's not on your doorstep today doesn't mean it's not going to be on your doorstep later. Yep, don't think that some of the stuff that's going on today that's not your problem is not going to be affecting your kids tomorrow. So yeah, we got to get real about some of this. Let's see, Donovan. Let's see, how much money do these celebrities get paid to embarrass themselves on the red carpet? Yeah, no, they definitely making money. Yep, don't get me wrong. I know that there's stylists and all these other people that's involved in the background and all of that. But at the end of the day, you still have a choice. And you still have a choice what you put out to the world in these scenarios. Yeah, money should not be enough to get you to sell yourself out. Let's just keep it a buck. But if money is driving folks that heavy, then hey, we may have another problem that we got to get into. Let's see, Highway said, I gave up on the community. I just deal with like-minded individuals. Now, I appreciate the comment, but once again, we got to understand we deal with the like-minded individuals, but don't think that the community won't come back to cause you problems later. Let's see. I think that's Novoy 7. Let's see. How is it low self-esteem when these young women want to offensively cuss everybody out? That's a valid question. That's a valid question. You want to say something, Coco? Go ahead.
I do. I want to, you know what I want to say to that? Like, I actually think that's why. I hope I'm saying it right. Is it Novoy 7?
Yeah, I think it's Novoy 7.
I hope that's pronounced right. I think that's why. I think that's why they're so aggressive about it. I actually think that their aggression and their abrasiveness is because it's their protective layer. I feel like it's kind of like the way that they kind of protect themselves is their armor, and I think it's them lashing out because there is low confidence there. There is low self-esteem there. They don't think as much of themselves as they really should. They don't see themselves the way that they really should. So this is why it's so easy for them to go out into the world with this behavior, with this like just brashness and you know, sometimes some of the girls that are wearing the most revealing outfits are the ones with the least amount of self-control. Like they are the least amount. The ones that have everything is out. Those are the ones that lack the most confidence. And that's why they're doing that. It's almost like I want you to think that I feel something about myself that I do not feel about myself. And if you were to have a conversation with one of those girls and ever catch them being honest and vulnerable, they would tell you that. That's why they're so angry as well. So a lot of times low self-esteem is at the root of that. That's what you're getting. That's how they're responding to it.
Right. No, that's real right there. Okay.
Is it that deep?
Go ahead.
Or
You want
is it
to say
just
something,
that
Joe?
they
Go ahead,
want
man.
attention? I was about to say, is it as deep as what you said, Chloe, or is it just simply that they just want attention and they're willing to do anything by any means to get it?
But you have to get to the root of that, right? Yes, that's the effect, but you have to get to the cause, right? A lot of times when we see behaviors, we are looking at the behavior and we go clutch our pearls, but we need to try to understand what's behind that. How did you get here, right? You want attention, but why? Why do you want this attention so bad, right? Is it because you really don't think much of yourself? Is it because people around you have never really considered you, never really, poured into you, never really talked well to you, never, you know what I'm saying, encouraged you, never told you that you were important, or, never ever allowed you to feel valuable. So now you look for that in other people. And by, presenting yourself a certain way to the world, you're going to get that attention that you don't get. It's going to feed or gratify you in a way because you don't have that on your own. Like some people just have a healthy amount of confidence and, they're just secure in who they are. Right. But understand that didn't happen just because that's who they are. They had help. Probably when they were being raised, they had people encouraging them. They had people saying, I love you. You're valuable. You're important. You're smart. You're handsome. You're beautiful. They had that. So now their spirits are full. But if you didn't have that, you never had that. Now you're going to be seeking that wherever you can. And when somebody threatens that, you're going to be angry and you're going to lash out, right? You're not going to understand. For you, someone telling you put some clothes on when you're dressing like this so that you can get the attention that you're craving, and somebody's telling you put some clothes on, you're angry at them because how dare you tell me, what I need this. I need to do this. This is how I identify myself because I don't have identity apart from this, right? So I think sometimes it does help for us to sometimes try to see past the behavior and get the why. Because usually that will tell us what we need to know to really actually reach that person.
Right. That's real. Okay. No, I appreciate that right there. All right. You want to say something, Joe, real quick? I'm going to hit the last one and we're going to get on out of here, man.
Yeah, I was just about to say we're long gone from the days of Audrey Hepburn and Josephine Baker. Now everybody wants to dress like the modern day version of Marilyn Monroe. And the crazy part is most women can't even pull it off because even Marilyn Monroe had a certain level of class. We still look at her like, damn, she was a little more scantily clad than a woman at the time, but she did it and it was just something, a charisma she had. And on women, they just think they just wear no clothes and that's sexy. No, that's not
Marilyn
how that
Monroe had
works.
sex with John F. Kennedy, bruh, in the White House. What are we talking about?
And her brother too. If you're going to go there.
Man, you tried it.
which is what most women, if they had the opportunity to do so, they would have done it, just like Monica Lewinsky did it. So, I mean,
That's my
these are
point.
men of power.
That's my point.
Come on.
That's my point.
Man, let me go to this last video, man. We out of here. I see Joe trying it tonight. All right, so this last one, this a little bit of a scenario video. Listen, shout out to my guy J.U. Griffin. He sent this over. So I'm gonna see what y'all say. Let me run this, and then I'm gonna come to the panel and see what y'all say about this.
Scenario: you're married with a child. Yes. You and your husband and your child go out on your sailboat. Okay. The sailboat gets struck. It's sinking.
Yeah.
Who are you going to save? The child or your husband?
Look, I would choose my child's father because we can make more children. This is an impossible choice. You also have to understand that my hierarchy in my life.
I agree.
God, my man,
husband,
my children,
everything else.
And also, I just want to emphasize spouse.
Your baby and your man is in the water.
Yeah.
Your baby look like a baby. Your man look like a grown man. I'm saving my baby. Like I love my wife, but I just feel like
What if she's incapacitated? What if she's knocked out?
I feel like she would be mad at me if I saved her.
She would, but she would get over it because now you a single daddy.
As a man, I can't even go back and be like, oh yeah, I saved my wife, I let the baby die. Who am I gonna go tell that story to?
Everybody.
That sounds crazy.
Let me tell you this. This is why having an integrity point and barometer with self is so important. Because if somebody said to me, you let your kids die and you saved your husband, absolutely. Now, it's not to say that I wouldn't grieve, that I wouldn't be sad. I'd probably ask myself, did I make the right choice? Oh my God, are we ever going to have children again? I'm getting up there in age. Having kids is hard. All of these things are real things, but I'm telling you right now, I don't care what anybody has to say about any decision that I made because I did it and I meant it.
Let's reverse situation. Your husband,
yes.
You love so much.
Yes.
On that boat, and you and the baby.
Yeah.
In the water.
Yeah.
What do you want him to do?
I would want him to save the child, but I would understand why he chose me.
You would be happy with him after he chose you, not the child?
This is such a challenging choice, but ultimately, my husband, I so recklessly trust my husband that in that moment, that's what made sense to him.
You can't.
And I might be mad. Yeah. I'm already geriatric. We might never be able to have kids again. And the grieving would be crazy for sure. But if he chose me over our children, there's a reason why. God's not done with me yet. People love the word until it's inconvenient, until there's judgment and bias around it. But when you think biblically, husband and wife should submit unto each other. You come first. You are the home front. You are the union. After God comes my husband. If I got to choose between my parents, whom I love, my mom is my very best friend, and my husband, I'm choosing my husband. And this is the problem. People are confusing marriage with being husband and wife. Those are two very different things.
Say that one more time.
Husband or wife means I am committed to this. I am submitted to the mission. I got you no matter what, under the eyes of God, through sickness and health, through all of the things that may come. That is my husband. Not I got married. Most people are just married, but they'll never experience what it means to be husband or wife. They're weak and they quit and they give up and they say, oh, well, it's just easier if I get divorced. So for me, when I have not a husband, but I have my husband, my God-sent husband, the husband that I have been waiting and praying for. When that is my guy and I make a commitment under God, he's first. I no longer belong to my father. I belong to my husband.
Period.
Okay, that's quick.
That was the most nuanced. That's a very challenging question that he asked. I've never even heard that before. That's really difficult. You just to think about it.
We got to go around the panel.
Shit,
Now I need to know what each and every one of y'all would choose.
Oh man, I don't want to answer that question. Just like she,
Herschel said,
I would say,
hold on. Herschel, you ready, man?
Hold
on, Joe. I see Herschel about to come off. Go ahead, Herschel. Go ahead and get it off, man.
I'd be the, not everybody might not like this, but I'd probably be the guy that ended up with all of us dying because I tried to save them both. That's just me,
I get it.
I don't know. I'm just being real. I'm just being real because I can't. I've never looked at it like that. Where like, do I got to choose between my kid and my spouse? I mean, man, I'm like I said, in my head, I'm thinking as a man, as the head, I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to save them both. But that's just my thing. Now, I guess to talk about her stance of it, I hear what she's talking about. I get it. I can't say nothing about it because that's her life. That's her view. I can't say she right or wrong. My opinion, that's her view by how she views the Bible, how she views her life, her spirituality, or her religious walk, her faith walk. Because other people can debate that and say, well, you have a husband, your husband should be equipped enough to be able to not be in that situation where you can save your child. Another person could say that she's truly disconnected from like childbirth or women, because I've never experienced that, but I can imagine. I've been thinking like, dang, having a life in your womb for 9 months and then bringing them out and creating something from nothing. It's like, and then you just say, I'd make another one. I don't know. That just sounded a lot real disconnected, but I'm not a woman, so I can't really speak too much on that. That's just my view of it. But I know I've always probably take the little sound like I'm straddling the fence or something, but no, I'm just being honest. Like for real, that's me. If I was in that situation, I would try to save them both, and I probably would, and then I'll probably be messed up because we all be gone. But you know what, man? We all be gone in heaven and having a better life there than here. I don't know.
But, I hear that.
I don't know. I just that was, I never really had thought of that scenario before. That's really I probably need a little more time to actually think about that, But yeah, that's what I feel.
Yeah.
No, I understand, man. Like I said,
that's real deep, though.
No, it is. Like I said, shout out to my guy JU. He sent that over. I think it is. It is a deep one. It is a deep one. But like I said, I'm not gonna say anybody is wrong in their answers. I'm just curious to know what y'all think. Because it's a deep situation, and it's like, what do you do in that situation? So yeah, but I understand her position though. Like I said, I know where she's coming from, so I understand that. You want to say something, Coco?
I was gonna say I want everybody to answer the question.
Okay.
We're not gonna everybody answer the question.
Right. No, I got you.
Wait, so I technically answered.
Go ahead.
I technically answered it, right? In your eyes, did I answer it or no?
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, you answered it.
I don't know. I don't think you.
Both. I'll try to say them both. That's my answer.
No.
That's your answer. Okay.
It's his answer, but the fact that you had to ask, like, did I answer that question? I think you doubt if you answered the question.
When she made that statement,
because it wasn't really an answer.
When she made that statement, it made it seem like I didn't answer it. So I'm just.
No.
Yeah, just making sure.
No, you answered it. I just wanted to make sure we get everybody.
Mr. Hirsch, I know English is my first language, but I understood that video very well.
They made it an either or. There was only one person you could put on that boat.
There were no both in there.
Leave Herschel alone.
They made it clear. You could not.
It's a hard question, but
they made it clear that you could not. There was no, because everyone would do what you just said, Herschel. Everybody would, but that wasn't the question. Of course, they made that. They took that contingency out.
Hold on, Joe.
So to go strictly off of logic, than to say, for example, to continue to procreate. That's what we're here to be fruitful and multiply. Save the wife.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, here, let me get
Bam.
this comment real quick. Eva Wright said, in that case, it seems like instincts would kick in. You think the adults could figure it out. The child may not. I think I'd save everyone. Tough question. No, I appreciate that, Eva Wright.
This is hard, man.
All right, let me, well, Joe, since you off mute, man, what you doing, Joe?
Like I'm still. If I was to believe in look at it, V-Boxer, man, this is going to be.
Man, you can't come at Herschel then and get the stutter, man.
No,
what is it going to be, man?
I'm admitting that it's very difficult, and I wish I'm not going to escape the middle line like you did. I want to so bad. But I'm gonna stick to the straight.
I got my answer.
You did say the wife. You said the wife. Damn, man. Okay, let me get to it. If I'm to believe in the concept of a soulmate, and I believe that God put two people together and they found each other on earth some way, somehow, and I love that woman, and I know I'm going to be with her together, not only on earth, but for eternity. But my child is going to have their own soulmate. I'm going to feel more inclined to want to save the wife, but also knowing that if I save the wife, there's a great chance that she would hold resentment towards me for saving her instead of the child. So now I have to deal with that. Or even perhaps the child having resentment towards me for saving him or her instead of his or her mother.
Is that a choice? I didn't hear.
Man, yeah, it's so that's this is what's going on in I say my head, but it's my heart. I would still, knowing the consequences either way, I would save her, even if let's say she's at a certain age, she's 50, she can't produce any more children. And that's my only child. And that in the lineage, or I guess the legacy, stops there. And the split-second decision that what drew me to the woman to produce the child, I'm going to want to stay with her irregardless of the child. Because I say that because I actually have some sort of feelings for a woman who can't even give.
Answer the question, please.
I did answer it. I did answer.
You gave Herschel some heartburn.
Just
right?
answer the question. Wife or kid? Wife or kid? Wife or kid?
Now that's wait. That's not fair, because he stayed here and he gave a reason for it.
And
I can't just say wife.
You railroaded all over his reason. So wife or kid?
Yeah, but he also gave a reason. Is what I'm saying, Chloe.
Wife or kid?
What the hell?
I said the answer. I just said
it
that.
was lost in all of that. What did you say?
Oh,
you said wife.
Yeah, thank you, Herschel.
Okay.
But I guess am I not allowed to? Okay, I'm gonna finish up real quick. I know.
No, now you know you tap danced around that.
I did not dance. I was just saying what I was just thinking about, and then my answer being a difficult one, obviously, for me being the wife in that situation, knowing the consequences either way. But lastly, I would say this: I never thought in a million years I would actually be attracted to a woman who's not capable of having children, but yet I'm attracted to her nonetheless. Now, I don't know what that is exactly, but it's like, in my mind, I'm thinking I'm gonna have all these kids biologically. And her, she's like, well, I can't have any kids either way. We can only adopt, if that were to be the case. Now, you're in a predicament where, in my mind, my fantasy, I always want to have biological children. But why am I willing to sacrifice my ability to have natural kids from myself, my own DNA, in order to be with this woman? So just based on my own recent personal experience, because of those feelings that was conflicting for me at first, it's like, damn, do I just find someone else that I might not love as much as this woman because this woman can have children? Or do I get with the woman who can't have children, but I love her more than anything else? That is a weird decision for me to make, but I made that choice. So based on that,
a whole nother conversation, Joe.
It's in the same. It's the reason why I said wife, because in this situation she can't even have children. So the only one I would have to save is my wife if we're in a predicament.
I got you.
So if she could, by God, he decided to give us a child. Therefore, because I already made that decision that she knows biologically, scientifically, she can have children. If God just says, you know what, no, I'm going to give you one. and we were put in that situation that they gave us, I would still then choose my wife because I had already chosen her before, knowing that she wasn't able to have children. So that was what I guess that's a much deeper response for
I got you.
me, surprisingly, but that's what it is. So I hope that was satisfactory. Yeah.
No, I got you. I
Damn,
got
that's
you.
a
No, that
hard one.
makes
That's tough.
no, that makes sense. I got you, man. Let me come up to beatboxer real quick. Beatboxer, what you say, man? What you doing?
I love you, Joe. Joe, I love you. I would personally pick my wife. Again, this is a hard question, but my wife, she works in the ICU and she deals with things like this where, it's either the wife or the child during pregnancy this happens. But for me, especially, she used biblical principles, and I tried to live by those myself. I mean, the Bible's pretty clear about that. I mean, even God told Isaac to sacrifice his son, Jacob. There's things like that where, like, it's hard, but like she said, we can have children if we want to, but at the end of the day, that's my wife. So, and I like my wife. I love my children too as well. Like, don't get me wrong. But to be honest, this is my opinion, for me alone, but I think there's a difference between the love for my wife and the love for my children. And it's something that my children come from me, but it's different when I love someone who's not from me. But it's a little bit deeper because you've chosen that commitment. And I don't know how to explain that. That's just me personally. But again, don't get me wrong. I love my children. My children are great. They're small and evil right now, but I still love them. So that's my answer.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. JR, you want to say anything on this, man? What you doing?
Boy, obviously, I ain't married.
Hypothetical, man.
I ain't got no kids. Damn. I'll probably say I'll save my wife, right? Sorry to them kids. Yeah, I'll probably save my wife.
Dang.
But obviously, throughout the relationship, it depends, how much my wife pisses me off throughout the relationship. Then, natural causes might have to take way, but I'll go with the wife.
Wait, you say how much she pisses you off? Is that what you said?
Oh my God!
Yeah. Throughout the relationship, obviously you can't just get rid of her, right? But sometimes natural stuff happens, The water's stronger than me. Yeah, so. But yeah, I'll go with the wife first.
Man, okay, I appreciate the answer, man. It's time for us to get up off here. Let me ask this real quick.
We
all answered the question.
Wait a second.
Who did I miss?
Yourself.
You and me.
No, I just said I just said let me answer this.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. So we definitely saving the wife.
Well, you might want to take off.
Yeah, no, we definitely saving the wife, right? So the priority is definitely the wife. That's who you made your union with. That's who we're saving. But I'm gonna be honest. In addition, I'm going to try to save my kids as well. I'm gonna take the position that Hirsch took. I'm gonna try to save everybody. But the priority is your wife. Yeah, when you join in the covenant of marriage and join with the person, that is your priority. That is the person that you cover. So the priority is definitely the wife. But I'm going to try to save my family because I am a protector over my family. So that's my position on it. But yeah, definitely the first is the wife. Let's see. Eva Wright said, tough question, but my husband can swim great. My kids can't. We should save each other. We should save each other, though, at the end of the day. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, like I said, I'm not knocking it. Everybody's going to have a different answer for this scenario. Like I said, I just thought it was a interesting question because when being presented with this type of question, which most of us are not going to be presented with this type of question, it really makes you think. Yeah, but you really have to look at, what your moral standards are, what your views are, who you follow, what you believe in, all of those things come into play in these type of scenarios. So yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting little curveball as we get ready to, close out the show. All right, Coco, what's on you?
So this is how I was able to come to my answer, right? There are a lot of times in the hospital room when a woman goes into labor that, there may come a decision where if it's a trouble pregnancy or labor, right? Where she, the father's there and they may have to come to him and ask him, okay, it's between her or the baby. Like, we can only save one. Who are you saving? Right. And now that father has to make that decision.
Damn.
Here's the thing. I know someone who was put in this position as a man, and he said, save my wife because, that's like my wife. So if you save the baby, now I am raising our child alone and I don't have my wife. But if you save my wife, there's a chance that my wife, we can do this again. Or if she can't, we can adopt. Or there's always surrogacy, or there's, you know what I mean? There's surrogacy, there's all these things. But if my wife is gone, my wife is gone. Right? Like, that's it. So this is how I was able to arrive at that decision. Like, obviously it's not the same because these kids are alive already. But if a man can make that decision in that moment, then I can make that decision in this moment. And so, yes, I would choose my husband. Obviously, I know that if I can save more than just my husband, obviously I'm going to try to do that. But my first priority is to, save my husband, because I can't even imagine trying to raise my sons without my husband. Like, that's just not something that I ever wanted to have to do, which is why I didn't have any kids until I was married. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I know all types of different scenarios happen. You can't help it, whatever, but that wasn't the goal. So yeah, that's how I would answer that question. And that's how I was able to arrive at that answer. There is no right answer. There's just your answer. There is no right answer, right? This is an impossible scenario. So there's just your answer, whatever your answer is. That's it.
Yep, that's real. That's real. Yeah, that's
Can I
real.
just
Listen up.
add,
Go ahead,
quick
Joe.
that,
Then we're gonna close out, man. Go ahead.
I see it, and that's someone who doesn't have a wife or kids yet. I see it as like children are a product of the love that I have for my wife, a manifestation of it. But my wife is the love I have for her that is unexplainable, right? It's like it's immaterial. It's something that comes from God. Not that the children don't, but they are a product of that thing I have with the wife. So I'm going to be more inclined to protect that love I have with my wife, because her I can live with, and regardless if we have to adopt or whatever, surrogate or not have kids at all, I would be okay with that because that's the love I have for her. But if I have the child and not my wife, I'm going to feel incomplete without my wife. That's just my thing. And maybe someone who's been divorced or who's a baby daddy or baby mama, they're going to probably pick the kid, of course, because I hate that N word. I can't stand that BIT. They're ask that question to someone else that's not on this panel who hasn't been traumatized in that way. Of course, they're going to pick the children in most cases, unless they have that level of, I guess, empathy for the mother or father of their children, even if they're not with them, even in spite of all the animosity that they share between themselves.
Right. That's real right there. All right, man, we're going to take some closing and we're going to get on out of here. I'm going to come across the top to bottom and we out. Coco, you want to say anything before we get out of here for the night?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief. So Black culture is trash. Yeah, I mean, listen, without being triggered by the title, without being triggered by the idea that we're saying Black culture is trash, if we just remove the emotion from it, I think that we can say honestly that this is a very true statement. Now, I'll give room for the fact that this isn't our culture. Like, a lot of us were separated from our culture. Majority of us were separated from our culture. We don't even know what our true original culture is because we were separated from it. So what we've had to do is build a culture, much like we had to try to build a life from nothing here in this country, right? We've been heavily influenced by other people's culture. We've been heavily influenced by society. We've been heavily influenced by our environments. So yeah, I will say that I'll give that. I understand that, we've kind of had to make do all our lives. But I still feel like we had a certain level of values as a community, as Black people. And I think that those values carried us for a good while, a good number of years. I feel like when we were thriving as a community, maybe not as much as the other communities, we knew that they, for the most part, kept us at a certain level. But when we were thriving, when our families were solid, when we were building our own neighborhoods and schools and businesses and churches, and when we had our own economic sort of climate, that existed within the economic climate, our values were just different. They were different. And we've come so far away from that mindset. We've come so far away from that, right? And I think that we have to fix that first before we can actually see any real improvement. We keep talking about Black people, having a seat at the table. But what's the foundation that would get us there? If it's not us prioritizing family, if it's not us prioritizing community, what's the foundation that's going to get us there? I actually don't believe we actually should be looking for a seat at the table. But if we're going to have that conversation, what's going to get us there? It's not going to be to continue to conduct ourselves the way that we are. It's not that. And for women, stop being so touched every time somebody comes to correct your behavior. Because at the end of the day, you need correction. We all do. And as women, we definitely need correction. You know why? Because we lead with our emotions. So any way the wind blows, that's how our feelings work. We are easily influenced. We are easily conditioned. That's why we are some of the best and most committed consumers. Because they know that they can appeal to that part of us that is uniquely us, that is pulled in and drawn in by that, right? So when another woman comes to you and gives you some feedback, instead of being resistant to it, learn how to first run it across your filter and go, is there some validity here? Because more than likely, she's not hating. She's coming to you with something real. Most people, when they hate on you, that's not how they do it. They don't do it how Sherry did it. That's not how they do it. They don't do it how Monique did it. They don't do it how India Ari did it. These are all women that you guys have canceled in the past, or at least tried to, because they've corrected you. And at what point, you got 3 different women with 3 different lifestyles, and they're all saying the same thing. At what point as women do you say, maybe it's me, am I the drama? It's not them, stop canceling them. Maybe you need to be canceled.
That's real. Appreciate that closeout right there. B-Box, it's on you, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'll be quick. I mean, culture and all that starts with families, and for us to, I think, to move forward, we need to definitely have committed relationships, if not marriage. And I think it's kind of the end all be all. But unfortunately, I think too many people want different things. So we'll see what happens in the future, but I'm not that optimistic, to be honest. So we'll see.
Okay. Appreciate that closeout. Herschel, what's on you? Want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, similar to that, V-Boxers. Like, I just feel like, just for me, as far as culture and my culture, like how I operate and move daily, I usually just would be like, is this something that my dad would do? You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't seem like it meshed well or don't something like he wouldn't do, that's like, okay, I feel convicted. And so that's the thing. We need more conviction. Everybody's like going back to the excuses. We make excuses. We try to hide behind things and just try to just live free. And it's like, no, we need to like think about it. Like, we need to conduct ourselves a certain way. Starts in the homes.
That's real. That's real right there. Appreciate that closeout. Joe, it's on you, man. You want to say anything before we get out of here?
I would listen to like Thomas Sowell, and I was curious as to why the culture that we have is the way it is today. And the way he described it simply was Black culture as we know it today, or he claims has always been, but it was kind of in the backwoods before it's become mainstream, was a direct result of things that happened with Black people emulating what they call white trash today, or the trailer park people, or rednecks. So we took that, modified it, made it our own, and then made it cool, made it popular. Not just here in America, but all around the world, internationally. So for a lot of people, you know, the first thing that come out their mouth is nigga. You know, that's how they greet you, even if you're traveling abroad. Not that it's happened to me, but I've heard that it's happened. If I stay there long enough, I'm sure it probably would happen. But to them, they're thinking that's something that I want to be called, because that's what we're putting out there. But words have meaning. Words have a lot of power. And unbeknownst to them, they're taking something and perpetuating onto me, someone who doesn't want it. But just because I am Black, I look back and I come from a Black family. I do take on that, but I do my best to distance myself from it. And I think I've done a pretty good job of doing so because of my father having been present in my life and preventing me from being steeped in that type of culture, whether it's listening to too much Tupac and Biggie Smalls and the beef wars, or listening to Foxy Brown, or all types of things that's in entertainment that we thought was cool at the time and innovative, has come back to bite us all in the ass. Ooh. I should say ass, because follow Chloe's lead on that one. But I will conclude with that. It's trashy. It is irresponsible. And I don't see, like B-Boxer said, I don't see how that can be turned around. Because you don't have a lot of people listening to the Sherrys or the Monique. But let's be fair, Monique wasn't the classy lady that she is today. She was the culture at the time when she was coming up. So a lot of her career was based on the trashiness she was putting out. But now she's kind of going back and say, let's not do that. But you got all the younger women doing the same thing she did when she was young. And maybe they'll come around and say, well, we shouldn't do, but they're following your lead the whole time. So you're trying to go back and do things that you should have did in the past. So this circular thing where no one's going to listen to them. They're not going to take the bonnet off their head. They're not going to stop showing their backside at the Emmys Awards. It's going to get worse and worse and more bold and bold to the point where this is just normal. And so Black culture then becomes American culture. And I think that's a terrible thing to see.
Okay. No, I appreciate that closeout right there, man. Appreciate that. JR, it's on you. You want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, thank you once again for having me on. Yeah, I think like what everybody's just said, I think it just goes back to, you know, as individuals looking within first, you know, improving, and then of course when we get together, and then that's when obviously, you know, the whole family aspect comes in. You know, make sure that your values and your morals within your household is correct, and then you take those things outside. And you know, when you communicate with people in your community and whatnot, eventually people will probably have the same thought process, opinions, and whatever it is on how to improve the community and how we can actually, you know, create things so then the community can benefit and thrive. So I think it's just one of those things where we just gotta start with looking within, improve, and then make that decision. And I think, you know, like going back to Beatboxer, right? Sorry, like me and him, we're not too far apart in age, you know, but we kind of got the same, well, same views and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure he looked within himself. His wife has looked within herself. They've improved, and they've made that decision to leave this nasty culture that is out here, so they can make that decision in this disaster that we're in. So I think it's more people are just not choosing to change or willing to make that conscious decision to want to do better or do the right thing in this current moment in time.
Facts. Appreciate that closeout right there. Let me say this real quick, then we're going to get on out of here. I challenge everybody. To think about what you're about to do for a couple seconds before you do it. Yeah, think about what you're about to say for a couple seconds before you say it. Yeah, this is an internal problem. Some of the stuff we out here seeing, some of the stuff that we're out here doing. Yeah, but we just took a couple seconds and thought about what we were doing or what we were about to say before we did it or said it. A lot of the stuff we probably wouldn't even do it or say it. So I challenge everybody. I'm going to close it out just like that. Take a couple seconds before you do it or say it. You probably wouldn't do it. But man, shout out to my panel. Shout out to Coco. Shout out to Beatboxer. Shout out to my guy Herschel. Shout out to Joe. Shout out to JR. Appreciate y'all holding me down on the panel, man. And shout out to everybody in the comments, man. Shout out to all the folks who came in from YouTube, all the folks who came in from Facebook, man. Huge show, great conversation, great support. So I appreciate everybody holding down the platform, supporting what we're doing, supporting the growth, supporting us, moving forward. Let's see, we appreciate you guys, man. Once again, this is Kandid Konvos, man. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and Facebook, so definitely, if you have not already, hit that like button for us. Help us in the algorithm. Hit that like button for us. Likes are free. Also, check out Kandid Konvos on Spotify. Man, we hitting the podcast scene now. Check out Kandid Konvos, the podcast on Spotify. Also, Kandid Reactions on YouTube. Definitely go check that out as well, man. We got platforms. We spooling it up. We getting it moving. We growing. We moving things forward, man. Like I said, we appreciate the support, man. But man, every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, YouTube and Facebook. But man, oh man. With that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We're gonna catch you guys next Wednesday.